Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Kandahar. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. This is a Gerard Butler action flick, and he's literally going to be the only reason why anyone watches this movie. So, let's talk about him. I already talked about him earlier this year with Plane, so I'm going to keep it brief. All right. So Gerard Butler, like his big breakout role was 300 as King Leonidas. We are Sparta. You know that whole meme. He was in some movies before him, but yeah, 300. That's when his career really took off. So he did that. I guess there's P.S. I Love You. Sure. Ugly Truth. Gamer. That's a weird movie. Law Abiding Citizen, Bounty Hunter, uh, Olympus Has Fallen. That's an important one because that would spawn a whole franchise. Like Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angels Fallen. All done pretty well for themselves, I would say. It's also, less said about Geostorm and Gods of Egypt, the better. Den of Thieves, I believe, did alright. And then recently Plane did okay-ish for January. So yeah, I mean, Gerard Butler definitely has his fans. As like I mentioned, they're gonna be the only ones who's gonna be watching this thing. So I say Gerard Butler's presence is a pro generally. So I'm gonna label him as a pro. Try to think of some other pros. I mean, it's Memorial Day, big holiday weekend for movies for the summer box office. So obviously, Sunday and Monday will be better than average. So that'll definitely help. So that's a pro. I can't think of any other pros. I really can't. All right, cons. This will be so much easier. Okay. Reviews for Canada are not super great. That 47% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Its audience score is a lot better at 81%, which is fine. And its cinema score is a B plus, which is also just fine. So word of mouth is just okay, which sometimes isn't good enough. So I'm gonna label that, I guess, a minor con. Like that's not gonna kill the movie or anything, but it's something to know. You want to know what will kill this movie? Severe lack of marketing. I've seen no ads for this. I've seen nothing. It's like this movie, it barely exists in people's minds, which is really bad. So yeah, I'd say it's a severe lack of advertising, severe lack of a marketing push. That's a huge con. And another con is that this weekend, I mean, it's a very crowded weekend with a bunch of movies coming out. The biggest being Little Mermaid, obviously. But there's also like holdovers, also older movies that are still out there that still have a pulse. Two of which are definitely going to eat into this movie's audience. Those movies being Fast X and Guardians 3. Because obviously those two movies share like, the male. All these movies are male centric, okay? And that's not going to help Kanadar's chances. Not to mention all the movies coming out after Memorial Day. Cross the Spider-Verse, Rise of the Beast, Flash. All those movies are going to murder this one. That's guaranteed. So, yeah, competition now, competition in the future, con, huge con right there. And I guess I might as well mention, Gerard Butler. He has his fans, but that doesn't mean they're going to show up all the time. As I'm about to show you, he's got some bombs on his resume. I guess we got to go like past 300, to really explain his own. Gamer was a huge flop. It was a weird movie too. Like, I don't even know how to describe Gamer. It's quite the flick, I'll tell you that. He's also got, what else do we have? Chasing Mavericks, Playing for Keeps. No one even remembers these movies. Movie 43. Oh, let's move on. Gods of Egypt and Geostorm. Two very expensive disasters that are just yikes. Hunter Killer, I believe that was also a flop. Cop Shop was a flop. So, yeah, Gerard Butler. I mean, when his fans care, they'll show up, but when they don't care, they won't show up. So, I'm gonna say inconsistency in his track record. So I'm gonna label that as a con. I guess his overall track record is more of a mixed bag. He has his positives and his negatives. So yeah, I think that's really it. I covered like all the major things about this movie. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So opening weekend, I guess I could mention that this is from like Barrel Cliff Entertainment. Their biggest hit is Blacklight, so that should tell you everything you need to know. Um, yeah, so yeah, like a pretty much like a very, 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 very low key distributor. That's not gonna help this movie either. So opening weekend, mm, what can I compare this to? I don't know. I I really don't know. I'm trying to think. Let's look at some other Gerard Butler movies for comparisons. It definitely won't match Plane. It may be Cop Shop. How much did Cop Shop? 2.3 million. That's perfect. I feel like its debut will be on par with this. So three. I do 3 day and 4 day because holiday weekend. 3 day. I'm gonna go with 2 million, and 4 day 3 ish, and it's total less than 10, between 5 and 10. And that's what I'm going to go with, and that's what I'm sticking with. So, yeah. That's it for Kandahar. Now, 3 more movies to talk about. And finally, we get to talk about Little Mermaid. There's a lot to discuss with that one. There's a lot. That's going to be a bit long, so yeah, then after Little Mermaid, there's The Machine and You Hurt My Feelings. So stay tuned for those videos. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. And check out more videos like this. You got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos are made on the channel. You know, if you want to watch any of the ones I've done this year, the past few years, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered Kandahar once. Once. And that was episode 172. I talked about it alongside The Boogeyman, Air, and Whitebird, A Wonder Story. Talk about it alongside those movies. So if you want to watch that episode, any other ones I've done, I've done 192. So you want to watch any of them from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that. So go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. May recap will come out the first week of June. So between Across the Spider-Verse and Rise of the Beast, so between those two movies, that video will drop. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.